Hello, good evening. How are you? Well, good evening if you are in the UK, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Real Magic Review. It's really nice to be here. I hope this is 5 o'clock. I've kind of tried to time it because there's a delay. So hopefully you're watching this at about 5 o'clock. If I'm a bit early, I'll waffle for a bit. But do ask any questions you have about what's coming up. Just briefly, this is not really a review. It's more of a quick roundup. Some of the stuff I get sent an awful lot of stuff, and I start watching sometimes, and even though it might not be terrible, it's something that it just doesn't capture me, I won't really talk about. But the few things that pop up I thought I'd share with you, because at the moment we are saturated with stuff coming out online. There are so many downloads, so many PDFs, and understandably, you know, we're all trying to make a living, including my own, you know, my own card magic course, by the way. See how I raised my voice a little bit when I said that was totally subconscious. Yeah, go and check out Card Magic Course. So before we carry on, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. My monitor, the chat has had a meltdown on my monitor. I cannot see your chat, but I can on my phone. So I'm pretty much, good sound. Thank you so much for letting me know, because it's all gone really weird on my monitor, what I'm seeing now. So I had a bit of a panic, as I always do, about a minute before going on. So like, subscribe, check out cardmagiccourse.com. This week I've created a new page for Card Magic Course with way more information on it. So have a look at that. I've also got a blog on there. So if there's anything you'd like me to write about, I shall also be putting it on that blog. So there's been a lot of late nights this week. So I'm really glad that's up. Again, any feedback is always appreciated. You're a very supportive lot. And so, as I was saying, 3 things I'm going to talk about very briefly, one of which I'm going to review properly later on, but I do think it's worth a mention. So do get your questions in. I'll stop for a second, have a look, just check there isn't anything that I need to approach. Okay, I'm quiet this time, am I? That's strange, because I should be. It's telling me I'm quite loud. So if it's a bit quiet, I do apologise, but I'll try and I'll if it is for everybody else, let me know. It's quite idiotic, like people's phones are different and stuff, so it's quite hard to get it right. But I will speak up. I will attempt to speak up. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what should I do first? I'll do this Misdirection package, Big Blind Media. Now, Big Blind Media have taken this approach recently of, well, they've been doing it for a while, releasing smaller releases that aren't going to take a lot of your time. And this is what a lot of this is about this week, really. And my time has been very, very limited. You know, because of work, having the kids, all this sort of stuff, I don't get as much time as I'd like to sit down and watch a whole DVD or really get into a book. So I'm kind of grabbing little bite-sized bits at the moment. So it's quite nice that people are releasing things for that. And of course, it's a win-win, because then, you know, they get, I think some people, money is a problem, so you don't spend as much money on these bite-sized things. And Big Blind Media have released a few. I did watch a couple, actually. One of them was called, I wasn't going to talk about it, Memo, I think it was called, which is a routine based around the gaff deck that I didn't even know about, which is the many teckle deck. So it's got a really nice routine there. That is super easy. So anybody wants a kind of almost self-worker using a gaff that creates a miracle, have a look at that. I really like that. I don't think I'll use it because it's not a deck that I have, and I think so check that you've got that many teckle deck maybe before you go forward and do it, or you're happy to buy it. But I thought it was a really nice routine. Very solid, very magical, very fooling. I didn't have a clue how it was done before I knew about this deck. So that was Memo. I think it's called Memo. But the LePaul thing. So this is from this Misdirection bundle, they're calling it. It's from the Card Magic of LePaul, which is, I always loved it, but found it slightly, I don't know, I couldn't really get into it reading it in long chunks. I don't know why. It's a brilliant book, clearly. It's the Card Magic of LePaul. But it's got loads of moves in it, and it's got these first 3 tricks. It's got a trick section, and the first 3 tricks are how close can you watch, deceptive perception, and mistaken identity. So they're 3 tricks that are published separately in here, but Liam Montier takes us through it as one routine. And so it's not like a really bite-sized thing where you sit down for 2 minutes. It's 20 minutes long. You get a routine which feels quite different. It's a kind of color changing deck routine, but each phase has got this kicker. And he says about it that it almost gets, for a magician, it almost gets less impressive for us watching it as a magician with each phase, but the focus comes down onto the cards in each phase, and it finishes with this really unusual finish. And I really liked it. I like tricks that surprised me. I didn't know where the trick was going. I thought it was going somewhere and it wasn't. And the color changing deck is a real surprise. And then in the middle, it's got this nice thing with just a few cards, where it's a kind of, keep your eye on the card, and there's a real surprising colour change on that as well. So I thought it was a nice, for people who are kind of, trying out sleights, or sort of intermediate but not advanced. There's not knuckle busting there, but there's a couple of sleights there that are pretty easy. He's taken these tricks and simplified them. And he presents very well, doesn't he, Liam? I've said this before. And the videos are very nice to watch, the Big Blind Media stuff. They're nice to sit in front of. And I think sometimes that is nice. You're watching 20 minutes, you get something out of it. It's really crisply presented, really nice, and it makes you feel like you've spent 20 decent minutes and learning some good magic. So I really suggest having a look at that, if that's your thing. Obviously, you can look at the, I think it's about £12, £12.99, and you can look at the effects before you buy it, so check that out. Then I'll just check there's no questions about that. Okay, cool. The second thing I want to talk about is Wayne Fox, the flick drift. Now, I had this a while ago, and I was part of me that kind of went, I don't know, it looks all right. I guess like so many reviews and downloads to watch. So I watched it the other day, and as soon as I watched it, I was in. This is it's a really good move. It's a move, and I love stuff that's just a move. Like I said, at the moment, if I can just watch something that's a move, and it hasn't got loads of other stuff, here's a move that's going to allow you to create miracles. And Wayne's one of those people that he's a good talker, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's a bit of a geezer. And I was kind of going, he's kind of overselling it here. And when I saw it, he was like, no, he's not overselling it. It's really good. And I'm smiling now because I was up till late one night doing it. It's one of those moves that you just get really, really into. So what happens is the card appears. I've got a clip here. I'll put it on, and hopefully you can. This is from an old bit of footage. This isn't the one you get for this project. But look at what happens there with that. That is how it looks. All right. Now you look at a video like that and you go, well, there's something out of shot going on. That is what the audience members will see. Okay, and that move is what the whole thing is about. Now, it was a Jeff Ray move. He saw Jeff Ray do it, and apparently it's one of those moves where everybody saw it, and then when they found out how it was done at a convention somewhere, everybody's like, no way, you are joking. And like he says, he calls it a filthy move. And I don't think it is a filthy move. I know what it means. You can look at it and go, really? But I think it's a really honest move. I think it's a brilliant move. It kind of reminded me of a Paul Gertner coin thing. But when you see it and when you learn how it's done, some of you will think, oh, it seems really inconsistent. It kind of feels like something you do and could go either way every time. So a couple of things on this. He breaks it down and he sort of talks about the fact that you can make it very consistent with some subtleties and these details of how to go into it. And that's what's good about a one move, which I think this was a DVD, it's now a download. One move thing is that you get the detail, and actually when you go through each moment, like make sure your hand is in, make sure this is happening at this point, the real detail is what sells this. And I was really surprised. He says if you do 1 hour a day for a week, you'll get it. I think a lot of people get it before that. I think you'll surprise yourself. It's a confidence thing. My feeling is that you'll get it in practice, perform it the first couple of times, and you might hesitate a bit, and then when you get confident with it, you'll get it most times. It's kind of like that Benzeus cut thing. You can get that sort of, if you get solid with that, you can get that really fast. It's not as hard as that. I think it's a lot easier than that, and I don't actually think it's a difficult move. I think, like he said, it's a filthy move and it's a ballsy move, but it's a solid move. And actually, I think that it's a sort of thing. The minute I started getting it, I was like, I could not stop doing it. It was such a fun thing to learn. And interesting, there's a couple of routines on here. There's an amazing card to box. And it's one of those things, it's coming, and the misdirection is really good. So it's coming, you still see it and go, hang on. And again, I'm not affiliated or anything, and I don't know Wayne very well. But the card to box, the way he describes it, he says something like, and they lift the box and it's under the box, for goodness sake. He's really selling it. But it is very, very good. And I think it's a great, I think it was Nick Einhorn that actually said on Facebook, look, don't overlook this. It's a great move and it's really worth doing. I think it's just solid. I think it's great fun. So have a look at that. Really well taught. Again, nice to sit in front of. It's probably not got all the production value of Big Blind Media, but Wayne's a very engaging person. Very good fun, very funny, I think, and genuinely really into this move that he teaches, and it's a great one. Okay, go to questions. Have you done unshuffled? Thought of card deck in bottle, trying to figure out how to get it in. I'll come back to these. Yes, it is a while move. I'll do a quick Q&A at the end. I'm aware that I've had a bit of feedback this week saying too much talking to it, so I'll try and make it concise. The last thing I want to talk about is an important one. They're all important for different ways. But this is the video chat magic project, and I saw this, and there's so much about this at the moment, isn't there? So I did Zoom Mentalism last week, which was Mark Elsden's book on specific tricks for Zoom. And this idea that, yes, we can kind of do what we do on Zoom, but if we really think about it, we can, if we're a bit sort of Zoom specific or video specific. Now, it's interesting because I don't watch much TV magic. And the reason I don't watch much TV magic isn't because I'm against it, isn't because I don't like it. I do like it, but part of me always has that thing of going, I don't know, there's something that doesn't engage me for long with it. Unless they've done things that you can only do on telly. I don't mean the sort of angles and stuff like that and camera stuff. I mean things that is just really TV specific. In the way that stand-up comedy, some stand-up comedy I think is incredible on stage, just doesn't really work. And they talk about this in one of these essays, the fact that you know, you've got to look at what is suited to the medium, and you know, close-up magic doesn't work as well on, you know, it doesn't work as well on stage, and so obviously our normal magic on Zoom isn't going to work quite as well. Now, arguably it can kind of work, you can still engage people, but it's better if we go, how can we use this medium? And I know the Jerks wrote about this, it's kind of, let's have a look at what we can do here. Now, the reason I haven't done a lot of people have said, are you performing any magic on Zoom? And I haven't, because at the moment, I don't feel right doing my normal stuff. I don't feel right doing Misdirection. I don't feel right people being able to rewatch it and being able to suss me out. So, excuse me. So, had I the time and to sort of sit and do it, I might do it. And that's what I think we need to start doing now. We need to start going, okay, how do we do this well? And how do we approach this differently? And this is why I think this is a very important project. So Video Chat Magic is a project started by, and I'm going to read this out because these are who's behind this. And this is important because the minute I knew this, I was kind of sold. Will Houston, Mark Kirsten, you know, I'm in already, David Britland, Jim Steinmeier, Steve Thompson, Noel Quarter, Seth Raphael, who's got the brilliant website. They are the people that are putting this together. So first of all, we've got world-class stuff going on. This isn't something that's just been thrown together to create awareness for something. And that's important because it's a charity project. And some charity projects are a little bit cynical. It's like, we can raise awareness for a thing if we charity, and then we can try and sell the thing. This is all 100% altruism. And I think Steve Thompson has an essay here when he talks about effective altruism, the fact that they have thought deeply about where this money goes, you know, because they are asking for an investment here. It's not massive, I don't think, but it's, you know, it's not a couple of quid. So, you know, 100% goes to charities. The idea of effective altruism is the fact that they've thought hard about the most effective use of that money. So this is it's taken a lot of thought, and these people are putting their time into creating something amazing. So I started reading that it is that you pay a monthly fee, and I'm going to review this properly when there's more on it, because they're putting more on it every week. So I don't know if that's specifically every week, but constantly. So at the moment you get 3 or 4 effects. You get essays, and the essays are really good. And the first essays sort of made me really start changing the way I was thinking about this. And you get access to these people, the words and the thoughts and the apps and the technology. We're talking about Mark Kirsten, these people and what they're giving you. So you pay you can pay a monthly fee or you can pay a yearly fee. Importantly, I read that as a yearly fee you're going to pay every year. You don't. You pay a one-off fee and you're going to get access to everything. Even when the project finishes, you still get access to it. If you pay a monthly fee, the project finishes and you stop getting access, if that makes sense. And that's because they want to put as much into this as possible and raise as much money for charity. So if you're starting out on and kind of going, okay, I want to start performing magic on Zoom, I think it's really important to look at this work. And it's probably the best thing I've seen to really go, okay, let's get some really intelligent minds together and think about this. As well as Mark's thing, it's a different thing. His with routines you can do, this is the ways of thinking. And there was that in Zoom Mentalism as well. So I think those two things are actually really worth looking at. If you've seen this magic mask thing, this way of on Zoom, and you need a Mac for this, someone can say any word and you can just go into a box or a cup that's been next to you all the time and pick out that word. I mean, it's that incredible. And that's the point of this. What they're saying is you've got this opportunity with doing magic online or on Zoom or something where you can get huge audiences, but sometimes we kind of make compromises with the effects sometimes. So we get the audiences, but we don't kind of get the strength of the effect. And what they're trying to do is say, okay, no, we can use this and do things actually that you can't do anywhere else, with an understanding that people see amazing things all the time with technology. So we've got to overcome that somehow. And, you know, there's a lovely trick. I think with David Britland has a trick where they have a deck of cards, you know, so they've got the cards, they go through the deck, you find the card, or the audience says stop, and that's the card that they chose beforehand. So they're doing it all. So you can't really put that down to a camera or anything. It's very clever. So I'm talking about this because of the altruistic part of it, because of the charity part of it, because it's way better than I thought it was going to be. You get the 3 or 4 routines at the moment, which are brilliant, and they're going to add more to it. And looking at who's involved, it's not the sort of thing you're going to pay you money and then they're going to give up on it. It's a very important piece of work, I think. So, and when there's more on it, I'll be talking about each thing in detail. But any questions you've got at all, let me know now from the limited knowledge I've got at the moment. So that's it. I'm going to have one last check for questions, and then we will knock it on the head. I will hopefully be back Thursday. I may not be, so do keep an eye on the feed. I'll be putting messages on the feed and on the Instagram at Real Magic Review. If I can't do Thursday at the moment, it's so up and down. There's so much going on with family and stuff, so it can be a little bit tough. But let's have a look. So, thoughts? Have you done a shuffled wow move? Wow move. It is a wow move. That flick drift. It's a great move. So no questions on that. So unless there's one in a minute, I'll just answer Tom. Thoughts on card deck in bottle? Trying to figure out how to get it in. I've never looked at it. It's one of those things impossible that a lot of people do, isn't it? And you can buy the thing of how to do it. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a great giveaway, but I think it's quite. I know someone that does do them as giveaways, but just was it Ben Hart was talking about it? But yeah, I don't. It's not anything I know much about. Done and shuffled? No, because my Pharaoh has only just become really solid. So that's it. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for coming. Any feedback would be great. Any comments would be great. Please like, subscribe, share. Check out Card Magic course. Have a lovely one, and check out all the links below. Very important. Have a look at these projects. Like I said, the video chat magic is about 130 quid, I think, for the year thing, but that you get it all forever then. So I was like, do I have to pay that every year? You don't. So, and I'm not sure on the price of Flick Drift, but have a look below. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely one. See you later. Bye-bye.